Hello guys and good morning. Welcome to another Desio Bussola live broadcast and flight today from Budapest to Amsterdam. So I will start today from the beginning, from the first part of the flight. So first thing I'm going to show you is how to set up a few things in the prepared 3D PMDG. So we have the airplane cold and dark. I will open the center CDU and hold on the menu button to open these settings. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set up the PMDG or better flight simulator actions, and I will set up the payload and fuel I need for this flight. So on my second screen here I have the flight plan. One thing I'm going to do, you cannot see it, but I'm connecting to the VATSIM right now. So our call sign today will be KLM5 Delta Bravo. It's a 777 whiskey, and we are now connected to VATSIM servers. I'm going to send the flight plan. So I have a flight plan from Budapest to Amsterdam, alternating Frankfurt. It's 1 hour and 46 minutes en route. We have fuel for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Initial cruise altitude is 24,000 until we cross the FIR boundary, and then we climb flight level 380. Okay, so that's what we have for now. And as I told you, I'm going to set my weights according to what SimBrief recommends me. So my zero fuel weight today is 208. You didn't catch 2, so 208,355 kilos. I will set as zero fuel weight right here. Okay, so it shows now in yellow the gross weight and the takeoff CG because we are above maximum takeoff weight. That's because we have full fuel on board, so the airplane is full of fuel and we don't need that much. We'll need today 21.5. I will make a 21,700 kilos as total fuel. Okay, so now everything should match. If I return even to payload, you will see that the numbers, they are not yellow anymore. So we are slightly above maximum landing weight of 251,290. Okay, another thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to request the ground power. So as you will see on this, on the other side maybe, okay, now we have the ground power and it is connected to our simulator or to our aircraft, better saying this. Okay, just want to make sure you can all see this live broadcast. Yes, you can. So I'm going to minimize this and I will keep the chat open here. So we already have a message from Victor Mendes. Good morning. Good morning, Victor. Thanks for watching again. Today from Budapest to Amsterdam. You can be free to write your comments and messages in Portuguese if that helps you, okay? If you want to practice or try English, no problem at all. I really don't mind, okay? Anything is okay. So I'm going to continue setting my aircraft here. So we go inside and the first thing we do on the electrical power up is to set the battery. With the battery on, we can also set the primary and external power. So we already have power on the aircraft. now. Okay, so you can see the aircraft is powered with the battery and the external power. A few things we are going to check before start the flight. So I'm going to go to the first officer side, which is easier to check. First thing, I will cancel all the messages. Next thing, I'm going to check the status page. So the status page is here and it's just showing us tickets. So this tickets is a failure, but it's a failure because our inertial is not aligned. So it should go away after inertial alignment. The hydraulics, they are okay. They have almost full, and crew oxygen is 1840. Another thing I'm going to check right now is to turn the APU master just to 1. I'm not starting it. I just want to check here on the status page. Oops. This is the status page that we have the correct oil quantity for the APU 7.7. It is fine. Okay, so I go back and I turn the APU master switch to off. Okay, we also check that all engine parameters are okay, including the oil quantity, and we go to the checklist and we do a reset all checklist. Okay, now we are ready to start our flight. uh, let's go. So we turn the AD to on. This is normally performed by the first officer. Emergency lights, they go to the arm position. We also need the navigation lights on, and at this time usually the captain, so I'm going to the captain side here, sets the parking brake to 1. And then this time we start to share our how can I say this, our duties. So the pilot flying is going to perform the CDU entries, and the pilot monitoring is going to perform the walk around. I don't think that you can hear the airplane because I cannot hear the airplane right now. I don't know what's going on. I will just check my settings here. Give me a minute please. In general, sound, and I will set everything to the primary. Okay, it should work now. I hope I didn't lose the Prepare 3D. And yes, I did. There was an issue with Prepare 3D, so I'm going to start it over again. Yeah, something happened to my Prepare 3D. Again, yeah, a couple of things that it doesn't really work. Please guys, give me 1 minute while I load the Prepare 3D again. It's not off, I just cannot bring it back. Let me see if I do a couple of changes here. Okay, just turn the prepare 3D off, and we are going to take it again. Let's start all over. So my prepare 3D starts to run now and again. So I'm changing my aircraft to the KLM 777-300. I'm changing my airport position to Budapest, Lima, Hotel, Bravo, Papa. And I'm going to set on gauge G10. Okay, what's the Zulu time right now? UTC time, it is 13:43. So 13:43 set, and the airplane is going to load now. Okay, let me see. It is coming soon. Still loading. Okay, now we have it. I'm going to do a couple of settings here. Okay, so give me another minute. I want to change everything to the PC only. Now I'm going to extend the monitor. So a couple of things I'm going to set to my upper monitor, like this page, like the chat, and like my OBS. So everything working now again, and let's try another start. Connecting to the VATSIM, filing the flight plan, all set. Let me just check if the active sky is working. Yes, it is connected. So I hope everything works. Let's start again. So menu page, FS action, payload is 208. What was the last? 208 355. 208 355. Okay, that's the zero fuel weight. I will set the fuel to 21,700. That is done, and I'm going to request the external ground power. Okay, so now we let go power up, battery on. When we have the primary and secondary external power, we turn them on. Okay, again, very quick here, we go to status. We just have the TCAS, hydraulics are okay, oxygen is okay, APU to on to check the APU oil quantity 7.7, that's fine, back to off. So we can come back here and check the engine parameters, they are all okay, and we do a checklist reset. After the checklist reset, we are ready to start. So AD route 1 emergency exit light on, navigation light is on, and captain parking brake on. Okay, now we are ready to start. The captain goes outside to perform the external inspection, and we will go ahead with our FMC. Okay, one thing that we need to prepare the FMC is the weather information. Okay, so I will set .wx Lima Hotel Bravo Papa, and we have Budapest now with 060 at 4, light shower rain, 7 degrees, and QNH 1011. So we'll come here to the QNH and set 1011, 1011. 1 is set, and as you can see, we just update the weather, so it started to rain in Budapest. That is really nice for our flight today. Okay, so we keep it like this. I cannot hear my simulator again. Why? Let me check my sound input here to open the volume mixer on my headphones. Yeah, everything seems to be working. Okay, I don't know why I had to set like this, but it seems that now you have also, yeah, you can also listen to the aircraft. Okay, so I'm just going to set my volume a little down. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's the way we go then. So, as I mentioned to you, we have 7 degrees and 1011. So here in the FMC, I'm going to pop off this FMC here to the side. So we go to FMC, we check the airplane, the correct engine, that the database is active, and that our fuel factor or drag, it matches the OFP, which is 0 today. We are in Lima Hotel Bravo Papa, and we are going to set the inertial position as the GPS position. And for the route, we have Lima Hotel Bravo Papa to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike Amsterdam as company route, and our flight is KLM 5 Delta Bravo. Okay, so I'm going to activate and execute. So I'm going to set the departure. Meanwhile, I didn't do, so I'm going to set the route here. I'm going to set a new flight, and I will enter here as well on my iPad, Lima Hotel Bravo Papa to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike Amsterdam. So we are going to take off from runway 13 left. So let's take one SID on 13 left. We need to go to position G left. So let me see which one. It's for runway. So departure 13 left, and we have the 2 Bravo G left, 2 Bravo departure. Okay, G left, 2 Bravo departure, and we are going to execute. Okay. Also, we need an arrival in Amsterdam. Right now, our OFP was planned with the Norco 2 Bravo arrival to runway 36 right. So for now we select ILS 36 right, Norco 2 Bravo arrival, and we have no transition for now. So we keep like this. We just check after RTIP radar vectors to the ILS. Okay, that is fine. And our SID, we go on runway 13 left. We fly heading 110 to Bravo Papa 701. Maximum is 230 knots. So I will set here 230 and slash 1000 feet or above. So we have this speed. We execute this speed, and then it's Bravo Papa 712, Pufog and Gilek. Okay. In Zoku, we climb to flight level 380, so we are planning a 380 stack climb at Zoku. We execute that one as well. And let me see what we have now. We go to route, it is there, performance. So reserves according to the flight plan is 7.9. Okay, 0 fuel weight, we still don't know the final one. Cruise altitude initially is 240, and cost index will be 20 for this flight. Okay, performance we'll do later on. I just want to cross check if we have any departure noise abatement, and it says that rolling takeoff when able, noise abatement procedures. Okay, so we are going to execute the 1 NADP 1. So we go on the next page and we are going to have our thrust reduction at 1,500 feet, and we are going to accelerate at 3,000 feet. So that's what we have on the FMC for now. Okay, we have another message from Alexandre Teixeira. Good morning, bom dia. Bom dia, Alexandre Teixeira. Welcome on board this flight from Budapest to Amsterdam. Just want to make sure I'm in full screen right now. Real full screen. When I go to full screen, it's moving away from my screen. Okay, now it's back. That's fine. Okay, so the captain is still doing his walk around, and the first officer starts with the pre-flight procedures. I'm just checking every single system here. I'm doing this really fast. I'm used to it. I do it every day. So we have all set here. Then the next one will be our flight directors, our traffic, and that's it. Then we check the oxygen. Oxygen is checked. We set up the charts. We just did it. We check the altitude, we check the airspeed, we check the heading, we check we have flight director and toga, and this heading matches with the compass and the other side as well. The altitude matches with the other side and the standby. All fine. So we set auto brake to RTO, and I'm going to change the camera here just to perform the pedestal. Yeah, like this, it's easier. So we'll have 1 to transmit. We are going to use the right side because the first officer is flying today. And all set, transponder is 2000. That is all set from the first officer side. So the captain came back and he's going to perform his side as well. So changing the VOR, changing the traffic to on, turning on flight directors as well. Oxygen check, that's the next step. Okay, then check the flight instruments. We have flight director toga. Speed, it's set. Altitude is correct as well. RVSM is checked. We have the heading, it's agree with the compass and the other side, that's all set. It goes to FMC and we have everything set up here. Okay, so at this time, because it's the captain that is going to start the engines every time, so at this time we still have captain and first officer. So at this time the captain asks for the pre-flight checklist, and the pre-flight checklist is oxygen. Captain says tested and 100%, and first officer says tested 100%. Flight instruments, captains say heading 127, altimeter 1011. First officer says heading 127 and altimeter 1011. Pre-flight checklist is completed. Okay, so next step, we can calculate some performance. Okay, so I'm going to do on my iPad as well. A message from Alex Pinheiro. Good morning, thank you for watching again, Alex. Obrigado, bom dia, Alex. So we'll be at Lima, Hungary, Budapest, runway 13 left. We are going to take, let me see if we can take any intersection for this departure. Let me see the airport chart. 13 left, it says taxiway hotel. Or which taxiway? It says kilo, taxiway kilo. Taxiway kilo is a good option, but no, today we go full length. Condition is wet, as you can see, it's raining. The wind, again, let me take the wind here. The wind we have is 060 at 4. Guys, I'm just adding some information to my performance calculator. There are a few options in the internet that you can download to have this kind of performance calculations. So, and we are estimating the takeoff weight of, let me take it from my OFP here, from my flight plan. So this is just an estimate. So our estimate for takeoff, it is 229.2. So I'm going to use 230 tons and I'm going to calculate. Okay, so we have some results. That is fine, that is ready. So we have the fuel, we have everything. At this time we are almost ready to go. We are going to start the APU so we can disconnect the ground power. Meanwhile, we can check we could request ATC clearance. We don't have any controller on this area, so this is going to be by our own. So I'm assuming we have the clearance. Okay, so I will set the initial heading. The runway heading is 128. Okay, to the other side is easier. 128 as initial. And altitude, we don't have any constraints, so our initial altitude is flight level 240. That is set as well. So we have our clearance. We are clear to Amsterdam 13 left via GLAB 2 Bravo departure. Initial altitude is flight level 240, and here we go. Okay, at this time we have the APU running, so we can disconnect the external power. Okay, I just disconnected, and I'm going to request the maintenance to remove this external power. Okay, so at this time we receive the papers, and we have a zero fuel weight of 237. Let me just confirm that we have the correct one inserted here. Guys, give me 1 minute. So our zero fuel weight was supposed to be 208,355. 208,355. I'm going to the sim menu again. It's 208,355. Okay, that's the correct one. Why we don't have this? Let me see. 205. Okay, we need a 208.355. That's the way we need to insert this here. Okay, now we have the correct one. Fuel, we have 21. That is perfect. So our zero fuel weight according to the company is 208,355. So we're going to set 208.4 here. It gives us an actual weight of 230.1 tons. Okay, that is set. And our CG, what is our CG? It should be in the load sheet, but the actual CG now is, the takeoff CG is 28.7. So that's actually the actual one. So with the zero fuel weight, I'm going to use this 28.7, 26.7 minus 2 as cruise CG, and we are ready for the performance. So at this time I'm also going to request the doors to be closed because we are almost ready to go. Okay, so the performance numbers we have. Before the performance, we have a question from Alexandre Teixeira. Captain, it's not a question of 777, but to the flight sim in general. Can you explain if after we calculate the top of descent, can you calculate the rate of descent that I'm going to use? Okay. Alexandre, I hope you understand English. I will explain in English first. If you don't understand English, let me know, and then I explain in Portuguese as well. Okay? So basically, you must know your aircraft. You can calculate a normal descent for a jet airplane as you need like 1,000, sorry, you need 3 miles to descend 1,000. So you don't really know the rate of descent, but you know that you will need 3 miles to descend 1,000. So let's say today we are going to climb to flight level 380. Okay, so flight level 380, and Amsterdam is at sea level. So we are going to descend from 380 to 0 feet. So you take 38 times 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 3 is 9, 11. So you will need 114 miles just to descend. So I'm going to write here. So okay, so 38,000 as cruise. Okay, I wrote in the chat so you can follow it. Landing at 0, 0. So this is 38,000 feet descent. So you will need 3 miles for each 1,000. So you are going to descend 38,000 and you need 3 miles. So you take 38 times 3, which is equal to 114 miles. Okay, that's the amount of miles you need just for the descent. But you will be with some speed as well when you need to configure this airplane for landing. So we are going to come here and check our VNAV for descent, and as you can see we are going to be descending with 260 knots. Okay, so 260 knots. What else you can do, I will write here. So from 260 knots to a clean up speed, you will have something like in cleanup speed 220 knots. Okay, so this means another 40 knots, and you can take 1 nautical mile to 10 knots. Okay, so 40 knots that you need to reduce, divided by 10, you will have extra 4 nautical miles. So 114 plus these 4 miles, you have something like 118 miles to descend and reduce to start your approach. Okay, so you can start your descent around 120 miles from Budapest. Okay, I hope you all understand this kind of calculations. So you take how many thousand you need, how many thousand feet you need to descend, times 3. So you already have a distance for your descent, and you add a few miles for your speed reduction to configure the airplane for landing. Okay, that's the way you do without the FMC. Please, Alexandre, let me know if you understood. Okay, so I'm going back to my trust limit page. So my performance is telling me that I can take off with takeoff 2. It's a 20% reduction and a select temperature of 57. These are going to give me an N1 of 87.2. Flaps. One thing I miss here, because we have temperature less than 10 and it's raining, we need to select the engine anti-ice to on. So maybe we are going to have a few changes on these numbers. Let me see. Okay, now we still have the rated takeoff 257, flap will be 5, the CG from the load sheet is 29, and our speed is 143, 155, and 158. Okay, 158, we set 158 on the MCP. We have LNAV and VNAV for this departure, and we cross-check the VREF flaps 30 matches with the performance 143, 143. They are perfect. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Everything is completed, and we are ready to go. As I don't see any of you saying anything, I just want to know, yeah, the live is still going. Okay, that is fine. Okay, so we are going to start our procedures now. So we are ready to go. First officer turns on the hydraulic system by turning the right electrical demand pump to auto. We wait the fault light to extinguish, and it's now. And then we can turn all the other pumps, the primary to on and the demand ones to auto. Okay. Next step is the seat belt, the fuel pumps, the beacon light. Then we do one recall. I missed the packs, so I'm going back there to turn on the packs. Usually we don't miss that in flight, in a real flight, because you will feel the temperature. So we have engine shutdown and TCAS off. That is perfect. And then we can do the before start checklist. So flight deck door is closed and locked. MCP. For the MCP we have these selections. So the selections, they are on the PFD. We can take it from here. So MCP is V2158, heading 128, altitude flight level 240. Takeoff speeds V1 143, VR 155, V2 158. CDO pre-flight completed. I missed the trim. Trim is 5.0, so we are going to trim now. 5.0 units, and then the aileron is 0 and the rudder trim is also 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed. Before the start checklist is complete. So I'm going to do this in 2 steps, so you can follow me. I am going outside and I'm going to select the top-down view, going to release the brakes and just start the pushback. Okay, so I'm going to do the pushback using the flight simulator here. It should start. I don't know why it's not starting. Okay, we use the PMDG to do these FS actions, pushback. I'm just going to say straight out 200 meters, and we have one tug here, and I'm going to start the pushback. Okay, so I'm going to explain to Alexandre in Portuguese that descent. Então, Alexandre, é o seguinte, você vê quantos mil pés você precisa descer. No caso, a gente vai voar no nível 380 e vai pousar a 0 pés. Então, são 38 mil pés que você precisa para a descida. 38 vezes 3 são 114 milhas. Então, essa é a distância que você precisa para descer. Tá? Você desceu em 114 milhas. Mas você também precisa de algumas milhas para reduzir a velocidade para aproximação. Então, você vai ajustar aí para a sua desaceleração. No caso, a gente vai descer hoje com 260 nós, mais ou menos. Esses 260 nós, a gente precisa de em torno de 40 nós de redução para iniciar a configuração da aeronave. Então, para cada nó, você usa aí, para cada 10 nós, você usa mais uma milha. Então, como você precisa de 40 nós de redução, você vai precisar, aí, nesse caso hoje, 4 milhas. Então, você soma aquelas 114 com as 4 milhas, dá 118 milhas, se arredonda aí 120 milhas antes do seu destino, você inicia a descida. Beleza? É isso aí. Okay, guys, so we are pushing back. As I told you, I'm going to do the pushback and then start the engines, so you can follow both procedures. Okay. Still wants the parking brake. Okay, so I'm going to set the parking brake. I want it. Okay, that is fine. We can do like a 180 turn here, and then take the taxiways. Okay, so that is fine for now. Another thing, I'm going the cabin crew at this time. Usually, they are all the doors. Okay, so we go inside our cockpit again, and then the captains ask for start engine right. We take engine right to start, and the captain turns the fuel control switch to run. What happened is we have the start valve open. Let me take to the first officer view. It's easier again to show you, because we come here in the air. You can see that the start valve is open. Okay, so if the start valve opens, the N2 starts to spin, and then at maximum monitoring we have the fuel flow, we have AGT, N2, everything is increasing. We make sure they stay within the limits, and when the starter is complete, this red dot, this little red dot, it's going to go. Okay, it's gone, so the engine right is stable, and we just check the oil temperature, quantity, and pressure. They are okay, so that is fine. And the next thing we do, we go to the other engine. So captain asks start engine left to start, and once again from his side is going to turn the fuel control switch to run. From our side we can check here in the air system that the start valve was open to the left engine. Of course the system automatically turned off the packs. Okay, and then we have pretty much the maximum motoring on this engine. Then the fuel will be released as fuel just released. Then we have the EGT. Now N1 rising, EGT rising, N2 rising. Fuel flow, it will be around 1,000 kilos in idle. So the oil pressure is increasing, oil temperature is increasing, oil quantity is okay, and vibration is decreasing right now. So we have a stable start, and the captains ask for the takeoff flap, which is going to be flaps 5. So first officer selects flaps 5 and then starts his procedure, which is turn the APU to off. In this case we are going to need the engine anti-ice for this departure, so it is on. Next step is recall. We just have TCAS off, cancel recall. Captain does the flight controls check and asks for the before taxi checklist. Anti-ice, engine anti-ice on. We can see engine anti-ice in green, so engine anti-ice on. Recall checked, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear before taxi checklist is completed. Okay, so now we are ready to taxi. So I'm going to perform the taxi like this. I'm going to set the camera, take this out, and that's the way we are going to taxi to runway 13 left. So parking brake release. Usually the 777 starts moving with this weight even at idle power, but it doesn't work in the sim. I'm going to add a little of power. As it moves, it will be for us almost 180 to the right. Let me take the shot here. Okay, we can take Mike, Bravo 4 and Bravo 5. One thing I'm going to do right now is to take you to the full screen, so you don't see the chat anymore, you don't see me anymore, but you will see me, you will see these on full screen. So I think it's better for you. Okay, so that's it. We are taxiing, and this is the main apron in Budapest. Thank you, Victor. Victor is going. Thank you so much for watching. This live broadcast will be here later on, so please enjoy the takeoff and landing later on. Obrigado, Victor. Abraço. Até mais. Okay, here we go. That ahead of us is the taxiway mic that we are going to take to leave the apron. Okay, so I'm going straight ahead here. Now after this almost 180 turn, this sound, it was the cabin ready. I can show you the cabin ready message. It is right there. That means the cabin crew already prepare the cabin for takeoff. Okay, so we are going to take the main taxiway here on the apron. And then we take left here on Papa 1. Okay, we take left on Papa 1. On my charts, it is Mike. Okay, now we have the Mike signal straight ahead. And to the right, Bravo 4. And then left, Bravo 5. Okay, next to the right is Bravo 4, so both sides are clear. 7 knots, it's a good speed for the turn. And we just start the turn. The nose gear goes away from the taxiway lines because we want the main gear following the taxiway lines, okay? It's a big aircraft, it's a very long aircraft, so we need to keep the main gear on the taxiway center line, okay? Of course, on a straight line, all gears following the line, okay? So right now we have the nose gear on the taxiway lane. It's real annoying to add power during taxi because on the real aircraft you don't have to. Once it starts the taxi, unless you have a really high upslope, you are going just to use brakes. You pretty much don't add thrust. Okay, that's our turn again. Okay, and now we go straight. Okay, at this time we have some time to perform some checks like weather and terrain for the pilot monitoring. Another thing we can do is, actually I didn't do before start the taxi, was to turn the taxi light on. Okay, so we are approaching the runway now. We are going to take off, so we are clear to line up and take off. So all lights go on and the transponder goes to TARA. So we keep taxiing now. And here we go. Last thing we need to do is the before takeoff checklist. So before takeoff checklist, is complete. Checklist complete, and that's it. We are ready to go. This is Bravo 5 that takes us to the full length runway 13 left in Budapest. Okay, this is a very wide taxiway we have. So in this one, our nose gear will be slightly left, so the main gear can track the center line. Okay, here we go, nobody on the approach. And here we identified runway 13 left at Bravo 5, which is the full length, and as recommended by the airport briefing for Budapest, we are going to do a rolling takeoff. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pop up the PFD so it's easier for you to follow it. We are going to align this airplane with the runway. We don't need the camera anymore, so we set the thrust to something like 55% N1, and then we press toga. We have on the FMA thrust ref, and right now we have the thrust set. 80 knots, and it's checked both sides. Now we wait for V1 and rotate call. V1, rotate, and we bring the airplane away from the ground slowly, and we pitch it up, positive rate, gear up, and we have LNAV. So we follow the flight director commands: thrust ref, LNAV, VNAV speed, and autopilot. Okay. 1500, we are going to have thrust reduction. This anti-ice on message is because the true airspeed is above 10. So it's off now. As you see, we have the thrust climb here, and at 3000 above we are going to have our airplane accelerating. So Budapest altitude is around 400 feet, so around 3,400 feet. We are going to, right now we have deceleration to 230 knots, okay? Alex is saying that the engine sound is music to my ears. Yeah, it's really nice. So the plane starts to accelerate, retract flaps to 1. Flap 1 selected, it's coming. 230 knots is the restriction at 701, so the speed is going to jump to 250. After flaps 1, flaps up, the speed jumps to 250 now. And we can turn the engine anti-ice back to auto and open the checklist. So we have now, after takeoff, checklist is complete. Okay, we have some turbulence. That is fine. Not a big issue. I will just keep my heading bug the way it's supposed to be on the heading. Flavio is here from Perna do Vento. Please, guys, follow Perna do Vento. I will write here for you. youtube.com/Perna do Vento. I think it works. Ok? Flávio. Obrigado, Flávio, pela presença. I'm still here in Seattle today. The departure is this afternoon, so I'm flying from Budapest to Amsterdam on the 777, the airplane. You love it. And thank you so much for the like on the video. Thank you so much. I'm going to pop up all those things again, so it's easier for you to see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to increase my range. We don't have any kind of weather around. We are crossing 10,000 feet, which is the transition altitude, so we set altimeters to standard. Okay, the only controller I can see online today for now in VATSIM is Vienna. Okay, Vienna. So we see if we are going to go towards Vienna or not. Okay, we cross 10,000 feet. The airplane accelerates to the economic climb speed, and we turn off the exterior lights, the landing lights, the runway turn-off lights, and the taxi light. The strobo light stays on from the moment you enter the runway until the moment you leave the runway after landing. The beacon is on every time the engines are running or are going to be running. So just before engine start, you turn the beacon on, and you just turn it off after engine shut down. We don't have, let's see how is the weather. If we still have some turbulence, it doesn't look like. So the passengers are going to be released, seat belts in auto. Okay, so we bring it back, this information here, and all set. Claudio Bueno saying, I don't know English, but I'm watching anyway. Good flight. Obrigado, Claudio. Obrigado pela presença. Pode escrever aí em português mesmo, a gente conversa. Se você fizer alguma pergunta específica, eu respondo primeiro para a galera em inglês aí, e depois eu respondo para você em português sem problemas. Okay, guys, I just told my friend Claudio that if he wants to ask anything in Portuguese, for him to do it, and then I translate the question, I reply in English, and then I reply to him in Portuguese, so everybody will be happy. And according to VATSIM rules, our frequency should be 122.8, right guys? So I'm going to set this now 122.8. That's the uniform frequency, and the secondary one always in whoops 1.121.5. Okay, and we listen to both. Okay, let's come back here. We are still climbing flight level 240, and our restriction is, I will leave this one here, flight level 240 in 2 position Zoku. So we maintain 240 in 2 position Zoku. That is fine. Let's see the airplane. This is a top-down view. That is our airplane and Hungary. Let's change a couple of views here of our 777, the orange KLM aircraft. Usually they are blue. I like this orange scheme that was, I think it was for the Olympic Games in Rio that they defend the aircraft like this. Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Alpha, the Flying Dutchman. That is the airplane. Guys, please let me know if the live broadcast is running smoothly, okay? If you have any internet connection problem, I'm using the hotel internet here, so sometimes it's not the best internet. So left side to weather as well, we don't have any terrain to worry about. So we are now at 1000 to level off. We are climbing really fast. So what I'm going to do is change to vertical speed and reduce this rate of climb to something like 800 feet now. This is 1000 to go. So we don't have any kind of chicas event because we are leveling off at 240 and some airplane is coming down to 250. Okay, I'm going to set this route on my maps here. Just to check if we are going inside Vienna airspace or not. Soku, Begla, Kubuksi, Ditis, Sopiga, I know it's in German airspace. So let's see. It's Begla. Okay, now we have a route. Begla is the boundary with Vienna, so by Begla we call Vienna. We call Vienna Center. Most probably Vienna North on 134350. Okay, so we have out, we bring it back to VNAV, so we have VNAV path with the correct altitude. That is perfect. And as I mentioned, we have some radio here, and Vienna will be 13435, so 13435. That's the standby frequency for Vienna. And again, Vienna is at position Begla. We will be with Vienna from Begla to Dickies. Okay, we keep always the heading bug on the current heading, so we know the aircraft is turning, or we know the wind is changing, we know something changed because we have to change our heading. We have a question from Claudio Bueno. What's the difference between Cat 1, Cat 2 and Cat 3? Okay, Claudio is asking for ILS approaches. For ILS approach, ILS means instrument landing system. It's the most common type of instrument approach in the world, especially for large aircraft like this. So the difference is they have different minimums in terms of visibility and altitude. So we just got a message. We are going to talk to Vienna. Just a minute, guys.
Mosquito 2 yeah, very windy here. We are now for level 229 and climbing for level 230. Okay, thank you.
Vienna Center, good morning. KLM 5 Delta Bravo flight level 240.
KLM 5 Delta Bravo, hello, radar contact, squawk 4332.
Squawk 4332. KLM 5 Delta Bravo. So we come here to the squawk 4, 3, oops, 3, 2. Okay, let's wait for Vienna. Let's see what they have to tell us.
KLM 5 Delta Bravo.
KLM 5 Delta Bravo.
Confirm 240 is your requested level.
Negative, we request after Zoku flight level 380, we are ready to climb if available.
For KLM 5 Delta Bravo, climb initially level 360.
Climb initially level 360, KLM 5 Delta Bravo. So we were clear 360 instead of 380, so we set the 360 here. We are passing Zoku, and we press the altitude, so we have thrust rep and VNAV speed. This speed is really fast. We don't need that much. Because it's climbing with 8.2. So we are going to open our speed and we are going to reduce to maximum 320 knots until we reach decimal 8.2. Okay, guys? Okay, so about the ILS. We have different minimums for visibility for each one. So Cat 1, Cat 2 and Cat 3, we have Cat 3 Alpha and Cat 3 Bravo, is basically the limit for the pilot to see the runway or the approach lights to continue the approach. Okay, we have a specific training for Cat 1. Actually, Cat 1 is the standard IFR training, then you need specific training for Cat 2 and Cat 3 Alpha and Cat 3 Bravo. Okay, so basically it's just the minimums and how close to the runway you can go before you see something and continue to the landing. Ok? Então, pessoal, o Claudio Bueno pediu a diferença entre Cat 1, Cat 2 e Cat 3 sobre o ILS, e é basicamente as diferenças para Cat 1, Cat 2 e Cat 3 são os mínimos meteorológicos que você vai ter para cada aproximação. O Cat 2 e o Cat 3 são mais precisos, então você tem mínimos menores, você pode chegar mais próximo da pista sem ver nada. Direct DTs, KLM 5 Delta Bravo. We work with direct DTs, and we execute. Então, galera, sobre CAT 1, CAT 2 e CAT 3, você vai ter mínimos meteorológicos diferentes. Então, o CAT 1 é o menos restritivo, mas você vai precisar ver a pista em torno de 200 pés. O CAT 2 pode te levar até 100 pés sem ver a pista, o CAT 3 alfa até 50 pés e o CAT 3 bravo você praticamente não precisa ver nada para pousar. E aí você precisa de treinamento específico para um e para o outro. Então, a diferença básica entre eles, Cláudio, é os mínimos que você vai ter para aproximação. O quão próximo do solo você pode chegar antes de ver alguma coisa. Normalmente, procedimentos CAT 2 e CAT 3 são executados com o piloto automático acoplado até o pouso. And one thing I didn't tell you before, guys, is that CAT 2 and CAT 3 usually they are performed with the autopilot engaged until landing. So now that we have Mach decimal 8.2, I'm going to close the speed window and we are going to climb at Mach decimal 8.2. So I'm going to tell you about flight management now. So on the fixed page, I can see that we have Lima Oscar Whiskey, which is Vienna. And I'm going to set 100 miles from Vienna for my reference. So as you can see here, I have Vienna on fixed page and a range of 100 miles, a circle of 100 miles around Vienna. So if something happens around here, I know I have Vienna as an option to divert. And Claudio is saying thank you. Claudio, não incomoda não, a gente tá aqui para isso, tá? Qualquer pergunta, qualquer dúvida, qualquer comentário, pode mandar aí. Okay, so guys, now we have Vienna. I'm going to check the Vienna weather. So in the VATSIM, I ask in here WX Lima Oscar Whiskey. So I want to know if this is available for us. So right now, Vienna is 320 at 16. The wind direction is 320 degrees. Speed 16 knots. Visibility more than 10 kilometers. Full clouds at 4,200. Scattered clouds.
Market 20, direct Whiskey 988, descent level 170.
Temperature 7 and QNH.
Whiskey 988, descending further 170.
Altimeter setting is 1016.
Delta Bravo, climb level 380.
Climb point level 380, KLM 5 Delta Bravo. So we were clear climb point level 380. We set 380 here. We have NVNAV 360, so we press it again, it goes to 380 and we continue climb to 380. Okay, so as I was telling you, the weather in Vienna is really nice, so it's an option for us. So we can keep Vienna as alternate in case we have decompression, engine failure, or medical emergencies, things like this. The next one we can consider is maybe it will be good to have Praga and Munich. So I come here and I select Lima Where is it? Just give me a minute. I will take my route chart. It's easier for me. So we have Lima Kilo Papa Romeo. Lima Kilo Papa Romeo. So I'm going to take the airports out. So Lima Kilo Papa Romeo. 100. Okay, so now you see Lima Kilo Papa Romeo as well. And as well, I'm going to check the weather for there. Lima Kilo Papa Romeo. So Lima Kilo Papa Romeo says wind from 330 degrees at 9 knots. Visibility 4,500 meters. There's no rain. Scattered at 700. Broken at 1,000. Temperature 2. Altimeter 1019. So that is also good. We have 4,500 meters visibility is still good. It's still a good airport for us. The next thing we do, maybe the next airport will be Munich, Echo, Delta, Delta, Mike. Okay, Munich is there. It's another option. As you can see, 100 miles circle again. Actually, Praha will be closer. We are 1,000 to go. That is fine. So maybe not Munich today, but later on we can have Frankfurt as an option. So Frankfurt, and I'm going to create a circle of 100 miles from Frankfurt. As you can see, Frankfurt is also coming slightly to the left side. Again, we check the weather in Frankfurt. WX Echo Delta Delta Fox. Frankfurt, wind from 50 degrees at 5 knots, visibility more than 10, light shower rain, few clouds at 2,200 with CB, scattered clouds at 2,700, 5 degrees is temperature, and QNH altimeter is 1023. So Frankfurt is also okay. After Frankfurt, we go to our destination, which is Amsterdam. We just reached 380. We cross-check. The altitude is okay. Is 380. On the radius here, we can on this option of PMDG we cannot select transponder above or below, so that is fine. That is done. Okay, so the last one will be Amsterdam, and I'm going to select 100 miles from Amsterdam as a reference. Okay, that's what we have right now. Okay, so we know the airport, so we are going. We have Vienna just below us. That is Vienna, guys. Okay, this is the airport here on the southeast corner of the city. Okay, this is the Vienna airport. So we can try to change a couple of views again for you to enjoy the 777 as well over Vienna. And I'm going to take you on a different view now. Let's try to find Vienna from, yeah, few clouds in Vienna. So we know Vienna is okay if we need to divert to Vienna. Okay guys, so as I was explaining to you, we have Vienna below us, later on we have Praha, and then Frankfurt. These are the airports we are going to use in case of engine related problems or the compression or medical emergencies, anything that require us to land at the nearest suitable airport. We check the weather for all of them. They are good, so it's not an issue. So as we don't have any terrain on this route, the compression problem will go down to flight level 100, 10,000 feet. And engine problems, we can open the FMC here and see on the VNAV page that going again. On the VNAV page, on the actual Econom Cruise page, you can go to the engine out prompt, and then you will see your altitude capability. So with single engine, we can maintain flight level 286. That means 28,600 feet. So this is not an issue in case of the engine out terrain is not an issue as well. Okay, so we perform the drift it down, and there is no issues. We are already in contact with Vienna, so we have ATC contact. We have Praha. Praha is also Yeah. Oh, this is Warsaw. Warsaw. We are not going to Warsaw. Our next controller should be Praha. Praha, Kilo Lima Kilo Alpha Alpha. We don't have Praha online. Okay.
Good afternoon,
We have
Sierra Australia
Praha
64,
ground,
with
but
you
that doesn't
information
help us.
here
We
on
are
board.
in cruise flight.
Contact, Sierra correct, expect a less approach runway 34, descent flight level 180.
I'm sorry, sir, everybody is able to say again.
Guys, I always
64.
open these screens for you. It's easier for you to see what's going on.
Correct, expect a less approach runway 34, descent to flight level 180.
As we continue, we are UTC time 1:59 and we'll be landing at 1613. So we are 1 hour and 15 minutes to go. That is time to start preparing our approach. So I'm going to request the weather for Amsterdam.
I'm about for November.
So Amsterdam weather right now is wind from 010 degrees, 12 knots, visibility more than 10, light drizzle, few clouds 1500, scattered clouds 1800, broken at 3200, 7 degrees and QNH 1027. Okay, so I'm going to pre-select 1027 here. So 1027, I pre-select as you can see here, and that means we will be landing north. So 36 right, maybe it's a good option for us. I'm going to check. Changing.
64 expedite descent, clear level 120.
Expedite descent, flight level 120, Australian 624.
Masked 20, descent 4000.
Just for the cruise part here, guys. I will bring back my screen so you can see me as well. Okay, maybe that's better for you, so you can see me as well. Okay, and what I'm doing outside the sim. So I'm going to check the chart for Amsterdam. Of course, if we have approach there, we'll follow the instructions. But right now,
are you in DMC?
36 right looks the best one for us. 36 right is 3,400 meters long. So that is fine. And we can navigate by Echo 2 or even Echo 5 and then the gates. Okay, so the arrival we are expecting is Norfolk. So I will cross-check with you guys our arrival. I will set this to plan. Okay. I will decrease the range. And we have Norfolk to Bravo arrival. So I go at Norfolk.
Information Sierra, expect visual approach runway 34, talk to 7 November whiskey. Expect a list approach.
Actually, I need to do on the third FMC here. FMC here again. Okay, so we have on the legs page, we go to Norfolk. After Norfolk, actually you have to cross Norfolk between flight level 280 and 200, it's there. It is checked. Then position Sonsa.
Turkish 7 November whiskey, direct whiskey 985. Follow map.
On position Sonsa, Narso and Arti. Let me see if we have the 2 alpha
transition.
For November transition 37.
for the same runway.
Correct. What level are you requesting?
ILS 36
Turkish 7
right.
November Whiskey, climb flight level 120.
Norca 2 alpha, it's shorter. Okay, so that is better for us.
KLM 5 Delta Bravo 122.8 Copa.
122.8, Qatari Delta Bravo, bye bye.
Secretary 7 Uniform November, climb flight level 280.
Well, we were sent to the Unicom frequency 122.8, so we don't hear the ATC anymore and I can talk to you easier. Okay, so what we have here now is Norco, Sonsa, and then Robbie's Oscar RT between 10,000 and 7,000. That is perfect. And then it will be the approach ILS 36 right. We have 36 right from RT. Then we have position in BAM, Echo Hotel 665, Echo Hotel 667, 668, 669, 636, 635, and the runway. So that is perfect. This is our approach right now. Okay, so as you can see, this is what we are going to do. We are coming from the west, from the east to position RT, and then southwest up to a point 6 Echo Hotel 668 when we turn right to intercept the final, the ILS to runway 36 right. Okay, so back to map. And we keep track on our flight. Okay. On the VNAV, on the descent forecast, the transition altitude. Oh, I didn't request the winds. So I request the winds for this flight. On the on the descent forecast, I request the winds for the descent as well. And the transition altitude there is 3,000 feet. So most probably transition level with 1027 will be flight level 040. I'm going to set here. So the wind is here. I'm going to load the winds. Winds are loaded and executed. And now we have the descent forecast. Descent forecast is also loaded. Okay. So it seems that our approach is pretty much set on the FMC. Okay, we have a minimums for this approach for our airplane categories, category Delta. So it's 227 the minimums. So minimums, I will bring it down to 227. And we are now closer to Praha. We don't go to Vienna anymore. I'm going just to erase Vienna. We have now Praha. Then later on to the left will be Frankfurt. And then the last one, as you can see already, our destination Amsterdam. Okay. What else from this approach? We need to check later on the ILS frequency and course. It will be here on the nav radars as we approach. And then our taxi after landing. Our taxi after landing, most probably via Bravo to position Fox 8 or Fox 6. Okay. Guys, please let me know if you have any questions so far about what we are doing right now. Another thing, now we need the approach speed. So we are going to land in Amsterdam with 9.6 tons, and right now we have 14.9. So that is 5.3 tons less. So if we take 5.3 from this, the weight will be 218. Okay, 218 with flaps 30, speed will be 139. Okay, so I'm going to do a performance calculator for this landing. So we are landing in Amsterdam, guys. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, here. This is the application I'm using to calculate performance for takeoff and landing. Okay, it's the Boeing performance tool, and I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel about this application. Okay, so we are going to land on runway 36 right. Yes, 36 right. Condition, so Amsterdam was light drizzle, so the runway will be wet. Braking action will take it as good. Wind is, the worst case is 040 at 12. Temperature is 7. QNH 1027. Flap will be 30. Brakes, I will select all. Air conditioning will be on. Anti-ice will be with the engine anti-ice on. Non-normal condition, the airplane is okay. Will be a manual landing and no credit for the reverse with 218 tons. Let me see if we have the same numbers. VREF plus 30 plus 5, it will be 144. It makes sense. We have 139 as VREF plus 5, 144. And brake cooling is okay. I will just select the plus 10 on the VREF if we need, because maybe with this wind we'll have turbulence on final. So then with VREF 30 plus 10, let me check here. We are good for auto brake 3 and idle reverse. Okay, so that's what we have for now. One thing that we can do is we just come just before starting this approach, we make a recall. We don't have any issue with the airplane. We also check the status. Nothing in the airplane is working perfectly fine. So we already set the auto brake, the speed, the minimums. We know what we are going to do on the approach. It's the ILS. So the briefing is complete as well. In this case, we can do the descent checklist. So descent checklist, the recall is checked, notes checked, auto brake 3, landing data, VREF 30, 139, minimum value 227, and approach briefing completed. Descent checklist completed. We close the checklist and that's it. We are ready to the next. No control in Amsterdam today. That is a shame, but that's fine. We coordinate with the traffic around. Okay, some more. Oh guys, as you can see down there, it's snowing. As you can see, that's the real weather. That's what we have. I will change. You see, it's snowing on this region, Praha. Around Praha it's snowing. That makes sense. We have this kind of white ground. That is really nice. So everything seems to be working perfectly for this flight today. Okay, let me see, how is our live broadcast going? So the live broadcast shows that we have 2 guys watching right now. We had 5 guys at some point. They lost interest or they had to leave, but that's fine. We have now 2 guys watching this flight. It's good that you are here around, guys. This kind of flight is for you. And again, if you have any question, even in Portuguese, please let me know. Galera, qualquer coisa, mesmo em português aí, pode escrever no chat, não tem estresse. A gente responde primeiro em inglês, depois em português. Okay, thank you guys for being watching this live broadcast. If you are not seeing it live, thank you for watching the video. This broadcast will be available for all of you once we finish as a normal video on the YouTube. Okay, so that's it. At this time we just monitor fuel consumption, and it's a really short flight. We don't really have to worry about the weather, but maybe we have, what time was the weather in Amsterdam issue? At 14:25, so in 10 minutes most probably we have a new one. All set for landing. I can see a route discontinuity there. Do we have a discontinuity on the route? Yes, we do. After VATSIM is position north, then we execute. Okay, that makes sense. And our top of descent at 42, landing at 12 makes sense as well. We still have 382 miles to go. Let's say 382 miles, 381 now, and we have 214 miles to descend. So 380 and 210, this is 170. Okay, 170 miles to descend. That's fine because of some restrictions on the descent. Let me see if I can show you something else here. This will be let's change a couple of views here. This is the outside view, top down. So this is where we are in the world right now, guys. Over Europe, from Budapest to Amsterdam. Amsterdam, Netherlands, and Amsterdam altitude is the airport. Actually, it's below sea level. So the Amsterdam altitude is, I just lost the altitude. Approach chart again, and then the Amsterdam airport elevation is 11 feet below sea level. Okay. So this is the flyby camera. You can see the 777-300 ER from KLM crossing your screen right now. Cristiano Gomes, opa, I'm here, I arrived. Thank you, Cristiano, for being here. Obrigado, Cristiano, por estar aqui. Cara, qualquer dúvida, qualquer comentário aí, fica à vontade. Guys, I'm just telling my Portuguese friends, my Brazilian friends in Portuguese that if they want, we can talk in Portuguese as well. Of course, I will translate for you, to everybody that is watching this live, and to everybody to follow. We also have Haroldo BR here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Haroldo, obrigado pela presença. Da mesma forma que eu falei para os outros aí, eu estou fazendo essa transmissão em inglês, mas nós podemos conversar em português também, e aí eu faço a tradução para o pessoal que está acompanhando em inglês. Yes, Cristiano, we need to do that flight, man. As I told you yesterday, I was online around 6:30 p.m. Brasilia time, and my next flight most probably will be on Monday at the same time, 6:30 p.m. Brasilia time. Então, Cristiano, eu estava ontem online às 6h30, como eu tinha te dito. Possivelmente a próxima que eu consigo marcar é na segunda-feira, às 6h30 da tarde. Se você puder, me avisa. Você pode até escolher a rota aí. Algo que comporte aí o 777, a gente voa no Prepare 3D, ou se não comportar o 777, eu vou de 737 usando o X-Plane. Os dois são ótimos e a gente faz esse voo junto aí, beleza? Inclusive, se tiver o X-Plane, a gente tiver a mesma aeronave, a gente pode usar aí o Smart Copilot e dividir o voo, se você quiser. Um comandante, um copiloto e a gente voa junto, beleza? So, guys, galera que chegou, a gente já preparou aqui a nossa descida. Eu vou fazer um review aí da descida em inglês e qualquer dúvida, manda ver aí. So, I'm going to do a review of our descent. Okay, a few things. What we have in the box, as we call the FMC. The FMC, I'm going to make this really big so it's easier for you to see. So we are maintaining flight level 380, speed decimal 826. So this is 82% of the speed of sound, and we'll be leaving our flight level 380 in 175 miles. That means at 1542 Zulu time. Okay. We'll be landing in Amsterdam at 1613 Zulu with 9.5 tons of fuel. Okay, the optimal flight level for us would be right now flight level 382, so 38,200. The maximum is 38,800, so the recommended one is 38,000, the one that we are maintaining. Our descent, it will end at runway 36 right, 39 feet. That is 50 feet above the threshold. We are going to descend with speed of this Mach decimal 82 or 259 knots. At 10,000 feet, flight level 100, we reduce to 240 knots. We have a couple of restrictions. The first one will be at North Pole between flight level 280 and 200. So here we have the information to reach North Pole at 280. Right now we are leveled, so our angle is 0.0. We need an angle of 0.4 or 348 feet as a constant descent to reach North Pole at flight level 280. For the descent forecast, we already set our transition level at 40, and we have some altitude and some winds for the FMC to calculate our descent based on the North Pole 2 Alpha arrival until position RT, and then we have the approach transition from RT to the ILS 36 right up to the runway 36 right, and then in case of missed approach we have missed approach, which is to position 637 and then heading 003 all vectors. Okay, so we already have the ILS frequency here 111.95, and the course is 003. That's what we have in the box. The minimums for this approach is 227. So at 227 feet, we have to decide if we continue the approach or not based on the visual reference that we have. We cannot go below that without visual reference to the runway or the approach light system. The VREF speed, so the speed, the reference speed for our landing with flaps 30, it's 139, so our approach speed will be 139 plus 5 knots, so 144, and we already set auto brake 3, and we are planning an idle reverse after landing. Okay, so guys, if you didn't understand something on this preparation, please let me know. I can explain to you. Galera, se vocês não entenderam alguma coisa aí dessa preparação na descida, me avisa que eu tento explicar melhor aí para vocês. So Cristiano is saying that he used the P3D version 4.5, and he did one live broadcast today this morning, approach and landing in Fortaleza with low visibility. That is really nice. Cristiano, which aircraft were you using for this approach into Fortaleza? And let's see what we have. We still don't have any kind of ATC available for our flight. Okay, that's it. Okay, one thing we are going to do after landing, one thing we are going to do today that is different from other days is that we'll be landing with a temperature, an outside temperature of 10 degrees or less, and with rain. So after landing, we need to turn the engine anti-ice on, because this auto position, it just works in flight. So on the ground, the engine anti-ice on the 777 and the wing anti-ice on the 777, but usually we don't use wing anti-ice on the ground. So the engine anti-ice on the ground is manually controlled by the on position. If you leave it in auto, it will be off on the ground. Okay, that's just a note of the 777. Again, let's go outside. Let's see what we have here. Still snowing down there. You have our 777-200ER again, flying through your TV or mobile phone or PC. I don't know where you are watching me today. Okay, so this is the vision from the nearest tower, which is in the airport Echo Delta Oscar Kilo. So as you can see, we just start some contrails there, and some visions of the aircraft. This is below looking aft. This is from the right side. This is a really beautiful aircraft. This is from the left side. Again, below looking aft, the right wing, the left wing, the right engine, the left engine, the right wing, forward of the right wing and the engine, and the forward of the left wing and the left engine, the F of the right wing and the F of the left wing, and this is a right horizontal stabilizer camera. So this is the camera on the right, horizontal stabilizer, and now on the left side, the same position on the left side. And the one I love it is tail camera. This one is really nice. And I have a question for you guys. If any of you know why we have these markings, these two markings, one each wing, these black markings right here. So this is a question I have for you. Please let me know if you know the answer. If nobody knows the answer, I will show you the answer after the flight. Okay? If somebody replies with the correct answer, I just confirm with you, ok? Então, galera, pergunta, para que servem ou para o que é essas marcas pretas, essas marcações pretas aqui que a gente tem sobre a asa direita e a asa esquerda, uma de cada lado? Se alguém souber, responde aí. Se alguém responder certo, eu confirmo que foi certo. E se ninguém souber ou ninguém responder certo aí, após o voo eu respondo para vocês aí então o que são essas marcas pretas na asa. Okay, guys? So if any of you know these black markings on the wings, what they are or for what they are used to, please reply in the YouTube live chat, okay? If nobody knows, after the flight I give you the answer. But it's a really, I would say, cool feature for the 777-300ER, okay? This is another tip that I give you. Those markings, they just exist on the 777-300. So Alex is saying, I believe it's for evacuation purpose, but I don't know exactly. No, Alex, the ones for evacuation is the inside ones with the arrows. So if we open the overwing emergency exit, the people will go through these arrows and we'll have a slide from here that it goes down, okay? What I want to know is further away on the wing, the black markings, okay? So what you mentioned is the black arrows in white background, okay? What I want to know is the full black markings, okay? And another tip again is just on the 777-300ER. On the 777-200 you don't have them, okay? So it is something related to the size of the aircraft. It's really hard to know actually if you don't fly the aircraft because it's a very specific thing on the 300. But good try, Alex. Thank you so much. Então, galera, o Alex falou que talvez fosse para evacuação. Eu mostrei que não é para evacuação. Para evacuação são essas setas pretas num fundo branco. Então, se a gente abrir a janela de emergência da asa, precisar evacuar, o pessoal segue as setas e desce por uma escorregadeira que vai se armar automaticamente aqui dos dois lados. O que eu quero saber é essa faixa preta aqui, ó, que está mais externo do que as posições ali, do que a rota de evacuação. Okay? Thank you, Alex. Thanks that you tried. It was really nice from you. So I will keep on this. So every time I bring the outside airplane, you will remember those marks, and maybe you can try to say what are they for. Okay, let me see. I'm just checking if we have any other approach controller that we need to call today. We have Copenhagen approach. That's not the case. We have a Brussels center. Brussels center. I don't think so. But anyway. Brussels. Now is the Amsterdam FIR, Brussels M30 is not there. There are two different FIR. We have Amsterdam FIR and we have Brussels FIR. Usually the upper part of these two airspaces, they are controlled by Maastricht. Okay. Again, heading bug, we just did a turn. Okay, another thing, we are not going to Praha anymore. We have Frankfurt to our left, and then we have Amsterdam. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the runway 36 right, and I'm going to set it on fix, and I'm going to set 10 miles. Usually we maintain 180 knots until 10 miles and 160 knots until 4. And I'm just going to check the briefing pages to check about this speed. Guys, right now we got a message from Manolo Suarez saying, Fala Velhinho, hello man, this Manolo Suarez, my friend, a 777 captain, and he built a 777 MCP. So guys, if you are interested in a 777 MCP, please talk to this guy. Manolo, please leave your contact or mail or something so the guys can reach you and buy the 777 MCP from you. Galera, Manolo Soares mandou mensagem aí, comandante de 777, meu amigo, a gente voa junto. E ele fez o MCP do 777 aí, então quem quiser comprar aí o MCP do 777, entra em contato com ele, é bem legal, funciona muito bem, e ele vai, eu pedi para ele deixar aí o contato dele, eu espero que ele deixe aí o e-mail, ou o telefone, ou tente entrar em contato aí com ele, eu não sei se no YouTube vocês conseguem mandar uma mensagem, eu acredito que não, então seria melhor se ele mandar aí o e-mail, ou deixar algum tipo de contato, para que vocês possam entrar em contato com ele aí, e ele vender esse MCP para vocês, se vocês tiverem interesse. Beleza? Cristiano is asking if I use the EFB of the 777. No, I don't use it. I didn't buy the version with the EFB because I use my iPad. Okay, so this is my EFB, and especially because I have the official Boeing performance tool here, so I'd rather use this one with the Jefferson than the EFB. Okay guys, so Manolo just gave you in the chat his mail. So guys, if you really want a 777 MCP, of course you can use this MCP with other airplane as well, but it's the same of the 777. So you have this part of the 777 here, everything works, all the buttons they work. If you want, take it, take this chance, send him an email, he can send you photos and a video of the MCP working, and if you like, you can buy it from him, ok? Então galera, aí é o e-mail do Manolo, se vocês tiverem interesse no MCP do 777, entre em contato com ele, ele deixou o e-mail aí no chat. Ele pode mandar para vocês foto, vídeo, tirar todas as suas dúvidas que vocês tenham aí do MCP do 777. Funciona perfeitamente, beleza? Guys, so we have here one traffic. Okay, so we have a traffic 1000 below us. I'm going to decrease my range, so zoom in. As you can see, we have a traffic 1000 feet below. This minus 10, it means 1000 feet below. Okay, you add 2 zeros and you have how many feet the airplane is below or above you. Because we have the minus, it is below, so below 1000 feet. If it was a plus, it will be 1000 above. Okay, so that's a traffic crossing right to left. Cristiano, então, falei ali para você que eu não uso o EFB do 777, eu uso então o meu iPad aqui. Eu tenho o programa da Boeing, o programa da Jefferson, eu acho mais fácil do que usar o EFB. Eu também tenho aí, não sei, acho que é mais $80 e eu não tenho interesse muito no 200ER, tá? Porque eu vou atualmente o 200LR e o 300ER, então eu tenho essas duas versões, elas não vêm com EFB, então a ideia é, por enquanto, manter assim. Eu ainda vou conversar com o pessoal da PMDG, eu quero saber que recursos existem mesmo no EFB, e talvez, se esses recursos forem interessantes para a live aí, para nossas lives aí, talvez aí eu compre o FB para mostrar alguma coisa para vocês, tá? Mas aí seria mais para a live em si. Para o voo eu prefiro usar o meu iPad, eu acho mais fácil de fazer as inserções aqui. Okay, we are approaching the top of descent. When we approach the top of descent, we are going to have a message, an ACAS message, FMC message, and then on the FMC we are going to have a message like reset MCP altitude that is telling us we are getting close to the top of descent, so it's reminding us to set the altitude down. So let me just confirm the speed they want for this approach. We have the Jefferson briefing, airport briefing pages, the speed restrictions. So they want 220 initially. So we maintain 220 until notified by the ATC, and then when we establish on the final, we maintain 160 to 4. So that 6 to 4 miles is okay. We don't really need this 10 miles, so we just need 160 to 4. Okay. So we will be waiting for the message. We are 24 miles from top of descent. So let me check. Yeah, we don't have any kind of active controller in Netherlands right now. So we are going to do the descent by our own. Okay. So I will leave my approach chart ready. When I need to open. Okay, we still wait for the message of reset MCP altitude. That's what I want to show you. I will leave. Okay, now we have FMC message, as you can see, and then on the FMC we have reset MCP altitude. So how it works in the real life, the pilot monitoring reads ACAS FMC message, and then it reads the message reset MCP altitude. The pilot flying says Roger, clear. So we clear the message is not there anymore, and we request for the descent. So the initial descent altitude restriction is flight level 200. I'm going to set flight level 200 here. 200 is set, and we just wait the airplane to slow down and start the descent. This is really big now, so I'm going to bring it back to the standard size here. Let's see, we have some traffic to Frankfurt, some traffic to Berlin, nothing about Amsterdam so far. Okay, so guys, let's wait. We are reaching top of descent. It's just 3 miles. At top of descent, we are going to see idle, and we are going to see the vertical deviation here. Okay, so 1 mile. Yeah, that's top of descent. Okay, we have idle. The vertical deviation is here. So the thrust is being reduced to idle, and the airplane is going to maintain the path. One thing I'm going to do right now, I will bring you back to the full screen so you can see better this descent, approach, and landing into Amsterdam. Okay, so we are going down. Let's see the airplane going down from outside. Guys, again, if you know why we have this black line and this black line, one black line on each wing on the 777, please reply in YouTube chat. Okay, as I gave you before some tips, I'm going to give them again. They are only here on the 777 300 yard, and it is because of the airplane size. Okay, so if you know what they are or for what they are used, please reply in the chat. Okay, I know it's not that easy to know these things. Okay, so we are starting our descent now towards the Netherlands. As you can see here on the left top corner, you can already see the channels of Netherlands. It's a really nice place. This is the 777 again crossing your screen. The KLM, the Flying Dutchman livery. Again, the last one, the last camera changes just before our descent and landing. As I told you, I like this one, but I just noticed that this image is amazing. I really like this orange and blue combination for this one. Yeah, Manolo, yeah, of course, the 777 captains know why we have these black markings here. And Manolo, if you want to share with the guys, please feel free. Okay, after landing, I can show the camera, and I can show the gear position, and the people will understand what we are talking about. Okay, because I don't think that somebody that doesn't fly the 777 300 specifically will know that. Of course, we have a lot of 777 pilots in the world, but if they just fly the 200 or the freighters, they don't have these markings, so most probably they don't know what they are for. Então aí, galera, se vocês sabem daquelas marcas pretas lá na asa, aí ó, Alex disse que agora acha que sabe a resposta. Se quiser tentar de novo aí, Alex, manda ver. A tentativa é grátis, tá? A gente não cobra. Guys, we are approaching 100 miles from Amsterdam. We are descending to Amsterdam, so in case of any problem, we go to Amsterdam. We don't need the Frankfurt fix anymore, so it is gone. And even the Amsterdam, I'm going to change this to 25, so this is going to show us now the MSA around 25 miles from Amsterdam. Okay, I'm going to ask again the weather in Amsterdam. Amsterdam weather at time 15:25 Zulu on the day 17, wind 360 degrees, 10 knots, variable between 330 degrees and 040 degrees. Visibility is more than 10 kilometers. Fuel at 2,000 feet, broken at 2,800 feet, temperature 7, QNH 1027. No SIG, which means no significant change expected for the next 2 hours. So that's what we have. And Alex gave us another answer. It says that is the line, is the reference line for the main landing gear. Yes, that is correct. So that's represent, I will show you now because we have time on this descent. If I set camera here and I open the camera for you, you will see that we have these black markings on the camera. So it helps us to identify the position of the main landing gear when we use the camera for taxiing, because sometimes the visibility is not good or we don't have the lights for the gear itself, and that help us on the maneuver on the ground. So we know we need to keep those lines inside the taxiway, ok? Então, galera, o Alex matou aí. A gente usa essas linhas como referência do trem de pouso principal. Vocês vão ver no solo, quando tiver o trem de pouso aqui, que o trem de pouso está logo para dentro dessas linhas. Então, a gente usa essas linhas como referência aqui na câmera para a gente saber onde está o trem de pouso principal, principalmente em condição de baixa visibilidade. Às vezes não é fácil enxergar o trem de pouso ali. Então, a gente sabe que a gente tem que manter essas linhas pretas dentro da taxiway para que a gente esteja com a aeronave dentro da taxiway. Beleza? Para não catar grama aí. Obrigado, Alex. Era isso aí mesmo. Valeu. Então, você sabe agora as duas indicações que nós temos lá fora na asa. Você sabe a indicação preta e você sabe também as setas brancas aí para que servem, né? A evacuação, então, e a posição do trem de pouso lá na parte de baixo da asa. Okay, guys, so Alex gave us the right answer. These lines, they represent the position for the main landing gear. So when we use the camera, and sometimes we cannot see the gear itself, we can use these black markings as reference for the main landing gear. So we keep them inside the taxiway, we are good. Okay, off camera now, and we continue on the descent. So I'm going to do the descent like this. Again, pop up all the things we need to fly. And we still don't have any ATC. If we are going to Brussels, it will be nice. We have the center, we have tower, we have the delivery, we even have the ATs, but no, we are going to Amsterdam. Okay, another right turn. So we crossed Norco between 280 and 200. The next is RT below 10 or 10,000 or below and 7,000 or above. So the next altitude constraint is 7,000. The airplane keeps the VNAV path. Manolo is asking which simulator I'm using. I'm using P3D version 5. That is an evolution of the Microsoft Flight Simulator X. It's pretty much the Flight Simulator X, but this is 64 bits, okay? That's pretty much the difference. And the airplane is the PMDG, is the new 777 PMDG. This one is the 300 ER. So I have the basic package, which comes with the 200 LR and the freighter, and I have an extension for the 300 ER. And this 300 ER uses our engines, the engines that we are used to. As you can see here, Manolo, the G90 and 115 bump limit. So that's why I like to use this one. These are the most powerful engines in the world, and most probably they will be for a long time. Even with the new G90X, maybe they will not reach 115 pounds of thrust because the aircraft is slightly lighter, maybe a little more, let's see. But for now, commercially, these are the most powerful engines in the world. Of course, Manolo, I can see a few bugs on the simulator, which is not like the real aircraft, but these small bugs we see, this small difference, it doesn't change anything on the simulation itself. Okay, a few things I noticed, for example, guys, for you to know while we perform this approach. When I turn on the right electrical demand, the right electrical hydraulic demand pump to the auto position, it takes longer to pressurize the right system than in the real aircraft. And in the opposite side, when we turn the APU master switch to on without starting the APU, just to check, for example, I will set it here so you can see on status, just to check, for example, the APU oil quantity during the pre-flight. In the airplane, it takes longer. It first opens the door and do the self-test and everything, and then it shows. But this one, if I turn to on and I come back here, I already have all the information. So this one is faster, okay, than the real airplane. And for example, the right electric demand pump, it's slower. But this is just details, okay. It's just about the time they happen, but they happen and they occur the way it was supposed to be. Okay, again, everything we need. This is a left turn. We are going towards RT above flight level 070. Here on the top corner on our PFD, above the LNAV and VNAV indication, we have the ILS frequency already tuned in 111.95 and final approach port 003. What I really want to see instead of the frequency is the ILS identification, that it will be Alpha Bravo Alpha. So 119.95 is going to change to Alpha Bravo Alpha /003. So then we know that's the correct ILS signal to follow. We are crossing 16,000 now. As you can see, we are going to cross some. That image is amazing. We are going to cross some clouds, so I'm going to set the seat belts already to on. I want the cabin crew to secure the passenger and start the preparation for landing. We have original jet 4,000 below us, 9 miles. Let's see it from outside. There he is. Let's search for this guy. There, 4,000 below us. It's a regional jet. 6.4 miles. Okay. We still don't see it on as a traffic. I really want to know what kind of configuration we have here, and I can show you that on the DFD for you. We go to the PMDG setup. In the aircraft equipment, I think there is something about the tickets that we can select. It's not here. This place. Other traffic show. Let's take show all. That's the point. We have the separation. So auto separation I can set to 7,000 feet. It will be better. Okay, and then we have all the information above and below. Okay, guys, we are approaching the point where we start the speed reduction from 259 to 240. We are slightly fast than the planned speed, which was 259, as you can see on the PFD 259, but the speed is maintaining around 280 because we have some tailwind, and it will be like 37 knots tailwind when we turn to the when we perform the next turn to the left here. Anyway, we leave like this. If we really need, later on we use the speed rate. Okay, approaching 10,000 feet, I'm going to turn all the lights on that we need for our approach. So this next one, sorry guys, our tip needs to be below 10,000 or at 10,000 feet. Sorry, flight level 100 because we still have standard setting. And then usually we have radar vectors from position artist by Amsterdam approach, but not today. Of course, we don't have Amsterdam approach radar. Okay. We are turning left, crossing 10,000. That makes sense. The next altitude that we have is 2,000. Yes, 2,000. So we can set 2,000, and we can set altimeters 1027. And we have now hold and VNAV speed. The airplane is descending, and I want it to descend with 250 knots. So I'm going to open the speed and 250 knots now to catch the path. Meanwhile, I'm going to open this last screen and request for the approach checklist. So the approach check, it is altimeters 1027 hectopascals. Approach checklist is completed. The next one is just the landing checklist. We are pretty much ready for this approach. We maintain 2000 until 636. And that's it. I'm going to send a message to the guys that I'm how many miles? 43 miles out. Okay, send them a message. It's like an coordination with the other VATSIM traffics around. So the path is coming. We don't have any speed restrictions, so we maintain 250 for now. We are below 10,000. A few guys saying that the runway 36 left in Amsterdam is closed for maintenance. Yes, it is in real life, but usually we don't use NOTAMs. So this was the cabin ready. So guys, we have here, as you can see, cabin ready. So everybody is seated and we are ready for our approach. Manolo, as you can see, we have good cabin crew here on the PMDG. Back to speed, VNAV path. So I'm closing the speed window and we have an FMC message of drag required. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the speed again, set 250. Or even less. I'm going to reduce to flag up speed, but because we have path, the airplane is going to maintain the path and it's not going to use any power. So there is one guy 25 miles out for the ILS runway 06. We are good. As I told you guys, the frequency was going to change to the identification. So now we have Alpha Bravo Alpha. So the ILS is identified and it's ready for use. And it's corrected to heading 001 by the PMDG just for this approach. This is coding configuration on the PMDG. Okay? Because the runway here is 1 degree. It's at heading 001. It's at 4001 instead of 003 because of magnetic diversions between the simulator itself and real life. Okay. Guys, as you can see, we are on the path, speed 230 knots. That's a good one to start the reduction to the approach. So what I can really do is on 688 I can set speed of 180 knots. That will help us.
Travel Victor, Delta 16, cruise start, Schiphol on base, Schiphol traffic.
That will help us with the turn for the approach. That is good enough. We are descending to 2000. I'm just waiting for the correct sensing for the ILS. 2 right turns and we are going to be on the final. So right now I'm going to set flex 1 and reduce the speed to flap 1 speed or 200 knots. It's okay for now. PMDG just changed. We had an update a few days ago. They say that they improve the thrust reduction during flare, which was abrupt. The thrust was reducing really fast, so it was really easy to make hard landings. So let's see how it goes today. Okay, maybe it will be better, maybe not. Maybe it's our flying technique that is not accurate enough as well. But they made an update on this one. It should be working. So right now we are 16 miles out. I will send a message. That is all fine. Now we have the glide slope ghost point there and the localizer at the right place. Localizer to the left, because the runway is still to our left. We are on the path, so I can arm the approach mode. We have localizer and glide slope armed. Now flaps 5 and we reduce the speed to 180 knots. Once established on final, we maintain 160 knots until 4 miles.
Amsterdam traffic, KLM 1724, establish ILS runway 06.
Amsterdam traffic, KLM 5 Delta Bravo. It's intercepting now 11 miles final on runway 36 right. KLM 524, what's your estimate time of landing? They will have localizer and glide slope capture. Flaps 15. Arming the speed brake.
2500.
Reducing speed to 160. KLM 1724, do you copy KLM 5 Delta Bravo?
Second KLM 174.
KLM 1724, how many minutes away from Amsterdam? You know?
ETA for touchdown will be around 3 minutes, KLM 174.
Okay, I'm 2 minutes away on runway 36 right, so we'll be touching down before you. See you on the ground. So now we go to flaps 20. we open the checklist, as the speed reduce, we can set flaps 25 and even flaps 30. So the landing checklist will be complete very soon. So we have here landing checklist. Landing checklist is complete. Land 3, rollout and flare arm. So we have all set, 4 miles. Now we reduce the speed to VREF. I will keep VREF plus 10 as I told you because of the wind. Okay, we don't need these anymore, and that's the runway. And let's see if we can make a good landing for the first time on the PMDG. 1000 is stable, and we continue this approach. Fabio Miranda, I will reply to you very soon, okay? Now, manual flight. We have a flight director. $500, we are still stable. Minimums, and we continue to our landing.
100, 50, 30, 20, 10.
Slightly away from the touchdown, but that's fine. Reverse is green, speed brake is up. This is the rapid exit taxiway. We are going to miss this one. So manual brakings. We have the auto brake message. 60 knots, we stole the speed brake, and we are going to take left on Echo 4. No, I'm going to take the next one into Bravo. Okay, we have a 777 captain saying that in the real aircraft I can make nice landings. Let's see here. Okay, it was not the best one, but it was okay. Okay, 20 knots. We are going to reduce to 10 knots. Here we have, and we are going to use the camera, so we don't need these anymore. And we'll be turning left now.
Circle traffic, 1724, vacated runway 06.
That is one departure ahead of us. He's gone. Okay, speed brakes are retracted. The guy that's landing on 06, I don't know if it was that one, but we do have a traffic, guys, because I don't have a first officer with me. We are going to stop the taxi here out of the runway. So we can perform the after landing actions. Okay, so parking brake is set, and then the pilot flying already retract the speed brake, takes the weather off, so the pilot monitoring starts with the scan, turning the APU master switch to the on, lights off. As it's not raining,
1724, taxi to
we don't
Charlie.
need the engine anti-ice. Out of the runway, strobe light is off. The next thing is auto brake to off. We retract the flaps and we set the transponder to standby. Okay, that's what we do. So before I continue the taxi, I have a question from Fabio Miranda. Hello, Captain. Why are you doing the approach using heading and not automatically? Not really, Fabio. I used LNAV. So if you rewind this broadcast, or if you see the video again, you will see that my FMA, my autopilot, was working in LNAV. Okay, I was just turning the heading bug to agree with the current heading bug, but I was using LNAV all the time, ok? Então, Fábio, eu não estava usando heading não, eu estava usando LNAV, estava ativo durante toda a aproximação, LNAV e depois localizador para aproximação. Eu só estava ajustando o bug do heading na Pro atual. Okay, I got from Flavio a message. Nice landing, thank you so much. I think that was the best one I did on the PMDG. So I have the tickets off, we cancel, I open the camera, and now I'm going to taxi. Brakes release, and we'll take right on Bravo here. Let me see from this camera. Yeah, I need to take slightly left and then right. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So we have the Bravo taxiway there. Pop up these again, it goes away every time. So guys, as you can see, we have the markings here, the black markings, so we know where the main gears are, and we know that we are on the taxiway. Fabio Miranda replied that he listened to our explanation. So, então, Fábio, se você quiser acompanhar de novo ali no vídeo, você vai ver que tinha ali o LNAV estava ativo o tempo inteiro, tá? É uma questão de sempre manter o heading bug na proa o tempo todo. Então, deixa eu ver se eu pego a carta de pátio aqui, é melhor do que ficar indo lá fora, né, galera? Mais profissional do que ficar indo lá fora. Agora a gente está na taxiway aqui. Então nós estamos na Bravo. Na Bravo nós podemos pegar aí Alfa 14 para posição Eco 17. So the next one, we are on the Bravo, we can take Alpha 14 to position Echo 17 or something. Okay, let me see if I can show you from the top-down view. Okay, we are going to take the next left and park over here. Okay, so this is Alpha 14. we slow down to something like 9 knots. Again, I have to take the camera to help us on the taxi. So left turn here, Alpha 14.
Civil traffic, Transavia, Modern Victor lining up 36 center, Whiskey 10.
So now it's slightly to the right, like 45 degrees, and we are going to park at the second one. So now that we are approaching, I will park on the next one to the left.
Civil traffic, Transavia, Modern Victor, 36 center, the Whiskey 1.
So very fast, I'm coming to start to the APU, turn the taxi light off. Again, the camera, so it can help us to park at the right position. Okay, it will be more than 90 degrees this turn here. I always forget that the camera goes away every time. So I keep going away. Yeah, Manolo is saying that is a nice chance to check the over-ring back stripes in the taxi using the camera. Yeah, that is correct. So you can check, guys, that we use that. Okay, this is our final parking position. With a slight left turn at the end. And I'm going to use the camera to stop where it's supposed to stop. Usually we have a marshaller or an electronic indication. Fabio is asking, he usually adjusts the heading after it takes the next route, let's say. So you are not wrong, Fabio. There is no right or wrong for this one. You can do it, yes. What I usually do, I turn into the direction of the turn first, and then I make like a fine tune when I'm on the heading. So we starting the turn, I turn it, and then once established on the heading, I do the last adjustment. But you can wait, don't worry. Wait the turn and then do it. Just don't wait too much after the turn, because if something happens and the airplane engages in heading cell, it will go back to the last heading you were. Okay? So now we have parking brake set, APU is running, so I will do it from the right side, because it's the right side to do it, because the captain always shut down. So fuel control right, cut off, fuel control left, cut off. And then from first officer's side we go and we check, we turn the seatbelts to off, the pumps C1 and C2 off, left demand to off, C2 and C1 off, the primary ones, and then the last one, that's the important, the right electrical hydraulic demand pump to off, fuel pumps to off, beacon to off. Then we come here, we can turn the flight director off, we can put the FMC at the initial page, squawk. Squawk, it will be easier if I use this panel here. So squawk will be 2, 0, 0, 0, and standby. Okay. After this, we have camera off, and we have shutdown checklist. Oh, you see, I forgot the weather radar on the left side. Okay, shutdown checklist, parking brake is set, shutdown checklist is completed. And that's it, guys. The flight is completed. We can go to the PMDG actions door, and as you can see in the doors, they are all armed. So usually at this time, after the seat belts are off, the cabin crew is going to disarm, so all doors are disarmed, and we can even ask them to open one door, and even the cargo they can open to start planing. And vehicles, what kind of, okay, we are going to set the chocks are set, so we can release the parking brake, and we can request the stairs and the cargo. So when we go outside, you will see that everybody is approaching our aircraft to start our deplaning. So the cargo are open, the door is open, the stair is coming, all set. Okay. Another thing, oh, this is a nice camera as well. You can see the stair coming, you can see the cargo loader coming, all perfect and nice. Okay, one thing I'm going to show you guys is, well, I'm going to disconnect from the VATSIM. The flight is over. Okay, we don't really need the VATSIM anymore. Thank you so much, VATSIM, for today. So I'm going to show you from outside, from this camera, what I was telling you about the gear. So as you can see, guys, these black markings, they are at the edge of the gears. So when we use the camera, and this camera is much better in the real airplane, you will see those markings there, and you can take these markings as the main gear position. Okay. So we are almost done for this flight. Let's assume that all passengers disembarked already. Okay, so what we can do, we can request our engineer to connect one external power. The external power is coming. So once the external power is available, it's available now, we select both of them. Okay, so we don't need more the packs. The temperature is 7 degrees, so the packs go off. APU can go off now. We also turn off the ADIRU, and we turn off the emergency exit lights. So it's pretty much everything, and we can cancel all the messages, and we can perform the secure checklist. Secure checklist packs off, secure checklist completed. And that's it, guys. We can hand over this airplane to the maintenance. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I hope you could learn something today, and I really enjoy it. And one thing we can do, we can see landing if you like to. So we can have a landing replay. Let's go. Options, analysis, actually instant replay. So this was maybe 450 seconds ago. Let's see, where is it? No, it's already here. So I have to analysis instant replay, let's say 1000 ago. Where were we? We were already here, so we are almost there. So 1200 seconds ago. Yes, that is nice. Of course, you will see the shocks and everything, but the airplane position will still be okay. What I'm going to do just to show you this is to remove the shocks, close all the doors, and vehicles. Vehicles. Oh, they are all going. Okay, that's fine. So then when I come to the instant replay 1200, you will see the airplane from outside the way it was supposed to be. Most probably the flaps at the wrong position, okay? But that's fine. So that's the outside view. Here it comes. Sluggish on this camera. Maybe the next one we can start from here, like 1100 seconds. Manolo, thank you, man. Thank you so much for watching. You helped the channel. I hope a few guys can be in touch with you to buy the MCP. Guys, Manolo sent his email on the live chat here. He built FMC, sorry, an MCP to the 777, so you can buy it from him. So keep in touch with him through the mail. He can send you photos and video of the MCP in action. I don't know why it's sluggish like this. I will do another replay later on. Let's see if it's better. We'll wait the sim to stop at some point. So we cross the runway. We put we start the flare. Was a bit high, this flare. So we keep going down, and then we touch down. Touchdown, and now the nose gear goes down, and there he is. So I'm going to end this one. Simulation is paused. I just give us some minutes, and then we are going to see it again. Let's see all the things moving away. Going to set the parking brakes so it doesn't move. Let's try this camera this time. So options, analysis, 1000 and 100. No, that is not enough. Analysis, 1150. Oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's unpause. Last instant replay of the landing at 1160. And let's go through some cameras. So maybe this camera will be nice for our landing. Let's see from this perspective. So we start the flare. It was a bit high, the flare. Next time I will try again. But yes, we touchdown. The wind was from 360 at 13, so pretty much headwind, slightly from the left. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I brought you to Amsterdam, and here we are in Europe, Amsterdam, from Budapest to Amsterdam. Thank you so much again for watching this, and I see you next time. Bye bye.